Hi there, Geminis, and welcome now to Wednesday. Well, today the moon moves into the second house, the house of productivity, of value systems. It's actually in Cancer, so emotionally you're tied to these topics. Now, on the bad side, the dark side of the moon, we like to say in astrology, you might go south and you might look in the mirror and not like yourself, or your car is not pretty enough. You can go into the I don't have enough mode, or you can go into the I have abundance mode. Now, obviously, you're going to get what you want from whichever way you go, so I recommend you spin it upward. The moon is really giving you emotional empowerment to value systems, manifesting your abundance, and your self-esteem at the core, so take advantage. Plus, there's a lot going on in the background. The politics of the planets are intense right now. We're still under a grand square, and Saturn this week is shifting signs. And you'll find literal lines drawn with Saturn. Saturn's so interesting. I always look at that planet with rings as a saw blade. Saturn just cuts through our life. And when it changes signs, it really cuts off tolerance of the old life. So, for instance, you just spent 2 years working on cleaning out your thinking processes and the way you communicate. You're done. You know what you have to do. That doesn't mean you're good and practiced at it. And the universe is going to take the next 6 to 9 months as Saturn moves into the house of home, family, and foundation for you to learn these principles. In fact, usually I see them tied. I would not be surprised if your desire to have a better foundation or a desire to have a better relationship with your mom, whatever this fourth house will come up as, and we'll talk about that deeply later. But in that effort, even let's say it comes down to a roommate, the first thing you realize in this transit is you don't want roommates anymore. Pretty typical, by the way, when Saturn goes in the fourth. People want to be alone, create their castles, so don't feel bad about that. But in that moment of that decision, now suddenly you're going to have to talk to your roommate. You're going to have to employ all these lessons of the twins working together, etc. So even though Saturn shifts signs, the topic doesn't go away. We integrate, all right? It's a gradation of energy, even though we draw lines between signs. And the other thing I want to point out too is you'll find that, for instance, if you had a communication problem in the last transit with a particular person, now that Saturn is in Virgo, no more tolerance. That person is not going to deal with it any longer. So get going on what you know you need to do. All right, Gemini, that's all we have for today. I'll see you tomorrow with more. Live, love, be.